Did you guys know I make my bed just for these videos? Now that's a sign of true dedication. Today, I have a box, and we're gonna open it. I just got back with the 6D Mark II. Now you might be saying at this point, Will, didn't you just buy a Canon 80D a couple months ago? Yes, I did. Then your follow-up question might be, well then why are you making such a minor upgrade? Let me explain. So I just started photography school, and basically on the first day they said, yeah, so you need a camera with a full frame sensor on it. And so I was just kind of like, okay. So yeah, I wouldn't have upgraded unless this was required. And also I wouldn't recommend if you have a Canon 80D to upgrade to the 6D Mark II. It's almost the exact same camera, just you get the full frame on the 6D. I like unboxing stuff when I can use a knife and I can be like, whoosh, and open it up. But this one's just a little, Alright. The manual. It's a pretty thick book. The body. And a camera strap. I don't believe in camera straps. Alright, let's open this up. Now, I think, despite this being Canon's entry-level pro body, I think it's actually smaller than the 80D, which is not a pro body. Alright, so here it is. If you've ever used a Canon camera, it's very familiar in the hands. You actually do lose out on a few features when you go to the Pro line from a enthusiast camera like the 80D, but the things you lose out on are sort of the beginner level things that make their way from the Canon Rebel line. For example, this camera doesn't have a pop-up flash because they figure if you're buying this, you're a professional, and if you're a professional, you have your own external flash or your own strobes, and you're not using a dinky little flash in the camera. There's also no preset modes on the dial here. You don't get your night mode or your portrait mode or your landscape mode. You just have your basic manual, shutter priority, aperture priority, program, automatic. By the way, in case you haven't figured out already, I'm gonna be comparing this to the 80D because that's what I'm upgrading from. By the way, if you're looking to buy a Canon 80D that has barely been used and a battery grip for a Canon 80D that's barely been used, message me on social media and we can talk. It's important to get your time right when you're setting up your camera, because then if you need to look back at photos, the time the photo was taken is all in the metadata, and it's all based on what the clock is on your camera, so make sure you get it right. Well, that's nice. It has the nice shutter button. It has like it's a little softer to press. It's not like the really clicky one. Another good thing about this camera is it is better in low light. It has a higher ISO cap, and it's full frame, so you know you automatically get some better low light performance. There's a few settings I recommend you change when you get a new camera. You want to make sure you're shooting in RAW if that's what you do, which you should be shooting in RAW. Do you hear that? Listen. Gotta turn that off, that's annoying. Beep. Disable. Get rid of the beep. So the native ISO maxes out at 40,000, which is definitely higher than the 80D. So if you're looking for low light, maybe this camera's better for you. There's also like a feature guide on here by default. That is really, I don't like that. Mode guide, disable. I know how to use a camera, I don't need guides. I'm gonna put a lens on this and we'll do a little test. One of the biggest downsides for me when it comes to full frame cameras is your lens choices go way down. You can't use any of the lenses made for crop sensors. You can only use full frame lenses, which are a lot more expensive. Red ring lenses are the Canon's L lenses. They're great lenses, but they just cost a lot of money. Okay, here we are on the Canon 6D Mark II. It might look a little grainier. That's because I have to shoot at a higher ISO because this is an f4 lens. It's not because the image quality is worse. This camera and this camera are both shooting at 24 millimeters, but because the Canon 80D is a crop sensor, it's cropped in more. And in fact, if I hold the cameras next to each other, you can just see right there. Right now these cameras are at the same level, and look how different the crop is on these. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's not a completely scientific comparison because, like I said, there are different settings with a different lens. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be shooting on from now on. I'm selling the 80D. If you know anyone who wants to buy it, let me know. And yeah, okay, back back to the 80D because I have it set up for this video and I don't want to change it. So this is my 80D setup, stacked on the tripod on top of some books. And then my mic is right here. Here's my sketchy light. It's the Aperture F7, I think. It's actually really bright. It's a small little LED panel, but it's really bright. So far I'm liking it. It's my key light right now, by the way. And in fact, the only light, unless you count the LEDs back there. But yeah, that's my first impression of the 6D Mark II. I know this is kind of old news. This camera came out like a year ago. And I honestly wouldn't have bought it if I didn't need the full frame capabilities. But I do, and you know what? It's an excuse to have a better camera, so I'll take it, because I've wanted full frame for a while, but it just hasn't made sense for me to upgrade. And it still doesn't really make sense for me to upgrade, but now someone else is telling me I have to, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, in conclusion, this is my main shooter now. I'm retiring the 80D and I'm going to be selling it. I still, even though I upgraded, I wouldn't recommend you upgrade if you have an 80D already. It's not really worth it. Maybe if you have like a Rebel and you're looking to get more into the pro stuff, then this might make sense, but otherwise I don't think so. This is basically just a pro 80D camera. But I like it, it feels good, it feels like a classic Canon camera, and I just gotta get some more glass for it. It's that mixed feeling of being excited for new gear, but sad for my wallet. So I'm gonna end the video there, thank you for watching. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you wanna see more, and I will see you in the next video.